Hey everyone, this is Mr. Chalman. We're going to be reviewing the last lesson that we did on either Monday or Tuesday this week. That was Unit 4, Lesson 3, and we were talking about interpreting and using function notation. So, quick review. What is function notation? Remember, it's little markings that look like this, and this says f of x equals y. All right, that's how we say this using our words instead of math, right? And this also means g of x equals y. Now we can use any letter that we want to denote the type of function it is. So this would be like function f, function g. We could use function h. We could use function q if we want. And we would say q of x equals y or equals something else, okay? But this is just how we read this math notation. All right, so how do we use function notation? Well, we either need a graph or a narrative and a narrative is like a story problem, to be able to figure out how we're going to put this into that equation or into that graph or that narrative, okay? So let's take a look at a graph. I drew this for you. This is the graph of a drone in flight, right? And you can see I have on this axis over here, it says the height of the drone in feet. Oh, I misspelled flight. That's funny. Fleet. I don't even know how you would say that. Anyways, flight. Okay, this axis over here is time in seconds. Notice I'm counting by 2 just to save a little space on my graph. This one I'm counting by 5. Same thing. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we are going to look at some function notation and say, what does this mean in words, right? If I'm looking at this graph, could I explain what f of 6 equals 15 actually means? Okay, now remember, the x is your input, the y is your output. It kind of goes with these axes, right? This axis right here will almost always be your input, and this one will almost always be your output, okay? So f of 6 equals 15, well, that means when my input is 6, my output is 15. Or in other words, the drone has been flying for 6 seconds, and it is now at 15 feet in height. Okay, so this means let's say after 6 seconds, the drone is 15 feet high. Okay, after 6 seconds, the drone is 15 feet high. Or 15 feet above ground, however you want to say it. But we just want to be able to relate what this function notation actually means in the context of the situation, right? This is one way you're going to have to answer questions about function notation. The other way is I'm going to give you a sentence and say, write it using function notation, okay? So let's go ahead and make a little break in our page here. And underneath that, I have written a little expression. It says, use function notation to show the height of the drone after 12 seconds of flight. So 12 seconds go by, how high is the drone? We can easily see that on the graph, right? At 12 seconds, right here, the drone is 20 feet high, okay? So using function notation, remember this is my input, right? This is my in, and this will be my output. Okay, so we're going to say f of 12 equals 20, right? And we can put units on there if we want as well. So I could say f of 12 seconds equals 20 feet. It really doesn't matter too much unless they ask you to do that, okay? So that's the gist of our lesson today. There's going to be some activities after this that I would like you to do in our Nearpod just to kind of hammer this home. But if you have any questions other than that, be sure to email your teacher or me, all right? See you guys next time.